Alright, hello, ShadowKey392 here, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Now, at the end of that last episode dealing with wrapping up stuff with Warship 1, I mentioned that in the next episode we would do something truly interesting and would be looking at submarines. Or actually, to be more accurate, we'll be looking at a submarine mod which somebody created. I don't know who, but whoever they are, they're pretty smart. They know what they're doing with their modding. That's for sure. Anyways, yes. That's what we're looking at today. So, yes, it is in your travels, well, you may have noticed that Kerbin, the planet, is covered by a lot of water, as are a lot of other planets and, well, maybe not a lot, but a few other planets and moons in this solar system. And someone evidently thought that with all this water, we should have submarines in this game, and I would agree with them on that. The submarines, if you ask me, are a must-have in this game, and if Squad should really give some serious thought towards putting them in, because they're awesome. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe NASA had a plan to send a submarine to Europa to explore the oceans they believe to be under its ice. So, if you ask me, space travel and submarines kind of go hand in hand with plans like that. Anyways, today we are looking at a mod for submarines. It's not complete. It's in the alpha. It's in its alpha stages. It's new. As I understand it, the person responsible for it has not completed it yet. It's an early release, as it were. It's called, let's see, the USI Submarine Parts mod. That's what it's called, the USI Submarine Parts mod, with USI standing for Umbra Space Industries. What it does is it adds parts to your parts menus, and well, it definitely does it in the sandbox game. I may be mistaken, but I believe it also puts them into the career mode, so you can actually go underwater now, I think, and using this piece of sciencey stuff here, you can actually collect science underwater now. Is awesome. You Squad, you should get on that. You should make this game so we can have submarines in it, rather than leave it all up to us, to the community. And while you're at it, you should hire this person who made this mod, because they are clearly a person who knows what they're doing when it comes to games like this. And they've done a really good job of it. So, the initial plan I had for this was I was going to test it, build a small craft and just test it to see if it would crash my computer or not, which I did. It didn't crash my computer. I'm not saying it crashed my computer, I'm saying I built a small craft, tested it, and it worked just fine. Didn't crash my computer at all, which is good. Thank Lord. And then I got carried away, because after that, the idea was that I would stop and wait until I started recording this video to truly explore it. But my excitement and curiosity got the better of me, and I went on to create two submarines. One small sort of submarine, more of an anchor for an underwater base, and a boat. Anyways, let's look at the submarines. We're in the space plane hangar right now. Let's see, where are we? Where are you, submarines? There's one. There's the submarine I made. The first one. Very small. It's a submersible. And I guess the maker of this mod decided to call it the Otter, because that's what its name is. So anyways, yes, I've put this together out of parts available, out of parts that the mod makes available in the game. It's got a pair of ballast tanks on the bottom, it's got the pod itself, it's got a couple of radial impellers, it's got diving planes, with pitch and yaw and all that wonderful stuff, rudders, and I stuck a Clamotron docking port on it for a purpose which shall be made clear in a moment. You see, these submarines, well, my guess is the creator of the mod intended for them to be used with hyper-edit to get them into the water, since Kerbal Space Program does not have a harbor or a dock of any kind at all. But yeah, that's not the case. I don't use hyper-edit. I don't have it. I kind of think of it as kind of cheating, which I prefer to get everything where, I prefer to get all of my stuff to where I want it to go via conventional means, which means that for this thing, I had to build a plane to get it out over the water. Where are we here? This is it, the submarine transport. This is the plane I made. Not a bad plane. There's the sub in the cargo bay there. Let's take this for a spin. Now, I would like to point out that I'd like to say that my early versions of this thing did not even have a plane. It was basically just a sub with a rocket engine and wheels and wings. And it kind of flew. Kind of, but not well enough. Which is why I decided to make a full-on sort of cargo plane for carrying it. So anyways, let's get this baby off the ground. Lights are on so we can see what we're doing and won't crash the plane because we hit the wrong button in our clueless flailing around the cockpit in the dark. Toggle torque. We want that left as it is. Control from here just to be on the safe side. Release the brakes. Let's go. Now this plane does fly okay. It flies straight rather well. It's when it comes to turning that it doesn't perform so well. But that's okay, because for the purposes of its mission, for its mission this time, it just has to get this thing out over the water. It's not going anywhere in particular, just to the water. And it excels at that. I guess it also excels at crashing into the water and ripping bits off of it. Now we've cut the engines and we'll just glide to a landing. Please work. Oh, that worked pretty well. We just lost a winglet. Last time we lost the nose cone there too. That's alright though. Last time we lost the winglet and the nose cone. And an engine. We can shut those down now. We don't need them anymore. This thing has served its purpose and will not be taking us any further. We don't need those on. And now, it's time to transfer to the submarine. First we'll turn the lights off, because we're good people who don't like to leave lights on when they leave a room. Oh. Hello, you three. You're all there too, I see. Ah, well. It matters not. Let's see. Transfer crew. Wait, who all... Oh, Valentina, you're in there. Transfer crew. we're going to take Jebediah, and he's going to transfer to the submersible. He's in the submersible now, and the cargo bay I see is already filled with water for some reason. That might be a design flaw on the maker's part. Cargo bays are not supposed to be already filled with water. Not until they're open, anyways. Anyways, let's open this thing. You can see it opening up just under the water there. And now, control from here. Electricity is on. And let's detach it. We've got a dock. That's what the docking port. The docking port is there to allow us to decouple this thing. And now we are underwater and going down, thanks to the 250 units of lead in our tanks. And right now, we can't control any part of this. We can wiggle the dive planes and the rudders around a bit, but nothing happens because we have no power. Well, we have power, but nothing's running with it. So we'll turn the lights on so we don't hit the wrong button in the dark down here, and we'll start the reactor. Because this thing has a reactor. Let's make a crew. Well, we'll leave that. Let's see. Control from here, definitely need that. Toggle torque. Yes. Excellent. Enable RCS port. Yes, this thing has its own built-in RCS port, which are these. And there we are. Oh, there they go. Let's go. Fire the engines. Fire the impellers. And listen to that. It's got sound effects too. And there's the ocean floor. And there we are. See if you can see us from up here. Yes, there we are. There we are, right there. Heading on down into the deep blue sea. Oh yes. That, I think, is a result of the game not expecting us to have gotten down this far. It's going bright blue. Not to worry. You can still see the bottom once we get down close with the lights on. Oh, there it is. Oh, oh dear. We've knocked our ballast tanks off. And we're heading up. That was bad. Well, they've basically shown off everything there is to show off about this anyways. Let's go up. there's our ballast tanks on the bottom of the sea. We'll just shut these down and let our natural buoyancy take us up. Oh yes, here's the cockpit view. Very Spartan looking, but very spacious and very nice view through the windows. And there's our submarine transport. Anyways, let's revert that to the spaceplane hangar. And now I will show you the other sub I made, the bigger sub. Well, actually, no. No, I will not. Not yet. Right, so I thought, why? Okay. Let's see here. Where is it? Right. Where are we here? Where are we? Where's... I may have gotten rid of it. Oh well. It wasn't really that impressive a base anyways. Basically it was just an anchor for anything to park on top of. It had a claw. That was about it. Where are we? Submarine 2. This is the bigger submarine which I built. And yes, it's attached to a rocket, because if you're gonna build a submarine in a space program-oriented game, you might as well have the ability to send this thing into space. This rocket probably could get this into space, but I've never tried to actually shoot it into space, namely because this thing probably would not survive re-entry. Until I figure out how I could get this to survive re-entry without flipping around and burning through the aero shell and destroying the submarine, I'm not going to try that. But, in the interest of getting this thing into the water, this rocket works just fine. So, oh yes, here's... Oops. This is Submarine 2. I kind of like to call it Atlantis, and yes, it has landing gear on it, just so that it can land on the ocean floor. I was gonna put landing legs on it, but there's kind of no place for them to go except right there, and maybe along the sides there. And they're not really all that hydrodynamic, right? But these are, plus as a bonus, they've got lights on them. Also, I've put lights on I put lights on the craft itself too, because you can do that. Here's one. The high-powered spotlight, the Otter high-powered spotlight. Now, the one thing about putting stuff on this in this game is that, well, I'm not entirely surprised by this, given that this is an alpha version, but you can't just go randomly slapping stuff onto the outsides of all of this, except for a few parts which are not included in the mod. None of the mod parts will allow you to just set them randomly on the side of something. They each have to connect to one of these connecting points. That's the only way they will work. Now for parts, we of course have the Otter submersible pod. We have the Otter R125 inline impeller. That's a bigger one, and that's what these two on the sides here are. It's more powerful than these. These are the Otter R35 radial impellers. And that's about it for engines. No command and control stuff, no structural stuff, no aerodynamics. Well, wait, yes we do. Hydrodynamic would be the proper term for these. These are the dive planes and the rudders for steering and ascent and descent. And in utilities, we have the Otter crew cabin, the Otter high-powered spotlight, which we just attached one to the front end of this thing. There we are, yes. We don't need that, we'll get rid of it. And the Otter inline ballast plate, which is a ballast tank. This thing has a few of them. That's one right there. That's one there too, there. These two, those two. This thing requires a lot of ballast, which is why it's also got these Otter ventral ballast tanks right on the sides there. Because this thing is very light, well, buoyant. And it takes all of this extra ballast and weight and stuff to actually get to the bottom of the ocean floor where I want it to go. For science, there's only one thing, and that's the aquatic sample collector, which, well, you know what? Let's stick this on. I've never tried this before. I've never tried that before. I don't know what that does. Huh. I guess that does nothing. And in the BDA weapons, of course, nothing, because that's a wholly different mod, which is unrelated to this. So, now that I've gone over that, let's launch this thing. First, our crew. Jebediah, good man. Launchpad not unserviceable. Oh, right, because Warship 1 destroyed it. Oh, well, not Warship 1, but the last refueling mission we launched destroyed it. I forgot. There we go, good as new. Let's launch this thing. Come on. Give me my list of ships. There we are. Submarine 2. So there we are. Launch. Three, 2, 1, fire! Now at first this thing wobbled quite a bit due to this thing just shaking freely, but once I stabilized it with these structural support things, it actually flies rather well. It probably can make space. I know it can't make orbit. I've never tried to actually make space, but I think it can. The only thing I know about this thing is that it could not make orbit. Well, that and that it's good for this, for just getting this thing out over the water. Yes, but this thing has nowhere near enough fuel to get this thing into orbit. that's good. It's out over the water anyways. That was spectacular! Well, revert to launch. That was spectacular! That's never happened before, by the way. Anyways, let's launch this thing again. Hopefully, with proper results this time. About 50 degrees angle. That should work. Yeah. Let's aim this over here. Or not. That's good. That's got us going out over the water. Good enough. Shut that down and deploy our parachutes. So yes, this thing has to parachute into the water because it gets up so high. And also because it's a rocket and can't simply land on the water like a plane can. Just time warp. Well, that's time. The danger of time warping, I guess. Let's try that again. This time we'll just get it out over the water and then that'll be it. Oh, there's Minmus up there, I think. Minmus. A red speck. I'm pointing at it with my mouse, which you can't see for some reason. I don't know why that is. But apparently the Loilo game recorder does not record mice in this game. Anyways. Deploy the parachutes now. Parachutes are fully deployed and we are heading nose down into the water. We'll keep the aeroshell on until we're actually in the water, and then we'll drop it. Right, 60 meters left to go. Now only 30, 20... water. And now this thing will fall over. Probably smash these stages. Yep. That stage is gone. But our submarine should be unscathed. Let's check it out. There it is, and already it's heavier than the water and wanting to go down. We can't let that happen yet. So we power off, lights are on, the power's on. Now we start the reactor. Let's call it, give this thing a name. Let's call it, Atlantis. And I don't know, I guess we could call it a rover or a lander or a ship or a base. Let's call it Atlantis 1. Now, let's see, what else have we got to do to get this thing running? Oh, yes. Enable RCS port, toggle torque. Double check that. Good, good, good. We can't do anything with that. Turn this on and... up we come. Slowly but surely. Maybe not. Anyways, time to detach from that, and we sink now. And let's get rid of that stuff. We neither want nor need it. So we'll do a nice little barrel roll here. Oh. So that actually does do stuff. No science as of yet, though, I guess. Huh. Well, let's get these two little ones going. Get down to the bottom that much faster. There's the bottom right there. With all the staging bits we dumped. Unless those are sinking still. guess this thing is a nuclear-powered reactor in there. It says enriched uranium in our resources list. Again, listen to those sound effects. That feels like a submarine. You know what? Let's fire the other engines up too. The two big ones. That should push us up to about 20 meters per second, maybe more. Yeah, about 20. Oh, and there's the bottom coming up. Lights on. Power down. Landing gear down. Whoop. We are down. If perhaps a little on the unbalanced side of things. But that's alright, I think. No, wait, that's not alright. No, let's try raising that up again. Huh. Alright, maybe we need a landing gear on the front. I don't think so, though. I've mostly just put those on to lessen the impact on the ocean floor. By the way, yes, you can go on EVA while underwater, but you will not go anywhere but up. Just up. Oh yes. There's a Clapotron docking point up there too, so that this could act as an undersea base. Because the base is for an undersea base. I've yet to actually give that a try, though. I've never sent another ship down here. Not yet, and I don't think I'll do it to this episode. But for now, let's take in all as much water as we can. Hopefully that'll weigh us down for when we jettison the ballast, or the lead. Yes, we're being weighed down by lead right now. So we'll increase our density by taking on as much seawater as we can. Hopefully that'll keep us on the bottom while we drain our tanks of lead, while we drop our lead weights. Oh, yes. There we are. Can shut those down. All lights go off. Jettison tank contents, and that's lightened already. Bam. 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 Oh. You have to do this one at a time at the moment. There's nothing to allow you to do it all at once. Yet. Uh-oh. We're leaving the ground. I guess we're going up. And I have to wonder why. Why is this end going down? Maybe it's the extra weight of that. Oh. Curious. Well, time to power these things on. All 4 of them. Looks like I lost a spotlight. Oh well. And we're out of the water. And yeah, never do that. Piece of advice. Never jump your sub out of the water. Anyways, so yes, that's the USI Submarine mod. Quite promising. Not complete yet, but if you ask me, quite promising. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on it in the future for updates. Well, if you're interested in giving it a spin for yourself, I will put the link to the page in the description. And, well, that's it for this video. This is ShadowKey392. Please like, share, favorite, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video, which I will start recording right away, I think. And it'll be the next in the Kerbal Career mode. So we'll see you there. Bye.